Hello everyone, and you're watching Bitcoin Bubble news channel. It's interesting to think about how people concentrated their money during the Great Depression when new technologies like the telephone, electricity, and the internal combustion engine were being developed. This was because everyone was afraid to invest in almost anything. With 25% unemployment and a 30% drop in GDP, was it going to fail? But what happened was that these new technologies made it so that the mega cap stocks started to do much worse than expected. When I recently talked to Cathie Wood at Bitcoin Park, we mostly talked about how important open source tools and Bitcoin are. Wood stressed how important open source software is for fostering new ideas and boosting trust in the Bitcoin community. She said that recent events like the regional bank crisis and the CrowdStrike outage have shown Bitcoin's unique strengths, such as the fact that it is strong and decentralized and there is no partner risk. Wood said that these features of Bitcoin make it a good way to protect yourself from flaws in the current banking system. If you want to see more crypto and Bitcoin news, check out our daily 5-minute crypto email before the rest of the video. It's a great look at on-chain crypto data and splits, and the best part is that it's free. In short, they'll talk about what experts think will happen, how on-chain crypto data is broken down, and any breaking news you need to know. To become a better crypto trader right now, click the first link in the description and enter your email address. Over 50,000 other people have already done the same thing. People who are against you and how they might change over time. For our listeners, what's been going on in the stock markets is unbelievable. This idea that the Mag 6 or Magnificent 6 would stand for such concentration is also impossible. They make up 45% of the portfolios of most big cap growth managers. Most of the time, these environments are closed, and a bit about the power structure and the direction of centralization. In other words, this is usually a very bad sign. Unless something changes it. What was it that these new tools were taking over? We just learned that Cathie was going to talk about how important open source technology is. Let's find out what she thinks about Bitcoin and why it's such an important currency. Bitcoin's resilience and reliability are due in large part to the fact that it is open source, not like closed source systems, which can have a single point of failure or be hacked. The open source code base of Bitcoin lets people from around the world keep looking at it and making it better. Wood says that this openness is necessary to keep the network's purity and get a lot of people to use it. She also says that Bitcoin is not vulnerable to the systemic risks that affect traditional banks, like the ones that happened during the recent banking crisis, because it is not centralized. Wood says that these features make Bitcoin a more appealing choice for investors who want to spread out their holdings and protect themselves against economic uncertainty. Let's hear more of what Cathie Wood has to say about Bitcoin at Bitcoin Park. One thing that comes to mind is that the price of Bitcoin is up a nice bit today. And while you're talking, I have a question. Yasin wrote a paper about how Bitcoin is risk-free. Now, here's another one. The first one was about the problem at the regional banks a year ago, and making the point that there is no counterparty risk in the Bitcoin community. This is another way to protect against a risk, and it shows off the very important trait you just talked about, Mike. Yasin wrote a paper about how Bitcoin is risk-free. Before the regional bank crisis in March 2013, most people thought of Bitcoin as a dangerous investment that would go up and down a lot. After that, more and more people learned that Bitcoin has a quality that banks don't have during the regional bank crisis. There is no risk with the other party. As of today, CrowdStrike has gone down, affecting large parts of the global economy. Bitcoin is open source, so it doesn't get updated automatically. Instead, there is a large community watch ecosystem where everyone looks out for their own jobs and the ecosystem for the good of humanity. You say freedom. So very, very interesting. Every single one of these situations shows how useful Bitcoin is. We're doing a few things to give back. For the first one, we've been writing about Bitcoin since the company began in 2014. For this reason, I believe that education has been brought up in all of the Bitcoin ideas, informing people about this important cause, which does in fact have a lot to do with freedom in general, is the first step. For the most part, though, we focused on the technology to help people in our community understand the money system, the world money system, and a new type of wealth. All three of those ideas fit together. And I think that any business leader or investor who doesn't study this will find that there is a lot of disruption and disintermediation that they will likely give into if they don't get on the right side of change. we are making a big move. So that's the first part of our study, and I had the chance to spend some time with core developers on a retreat-like event. And one of our jobs is to check out neighborhoods. And I have to say that I was really impressed by how much they knew, especially about technology and money processes. I could say a little more about the new asset class, but when it comes to the money system and technology, the ecosystem's passion and determination are truly impressive, as is its intelligence. My confidence shot up twice, even though we have been writing about this topic for a while. It was 2019. When I first met the core developers and Art Laffer edited our first paper, I thought, could Bitcoin serve all three roles of money? This is a story that many of you have heard, and he's saying, this is what I've been waiting for since we shut down the gold window in 1971. What size is this thing that I've been waiting for? In any case, this is the internet's main cache. That is a huge thought. Our study is now on our website. Please know that we've met the creators and were blown away by them all. We're also going to spend the money we talk about. So many of us know that we were a part of the spot Bitcoin ETF movement. You will also know that the fee system fell apart during that time. That's why our first thought was a share of the income. To put it simply, let's say this: there won't be much money to be made there, which is good. It's all right. The fee is going down from our point of view. This is good for everyone. The most important service we could offer is making this public good, this financial freeway, easier for more people to get to. That's what we did. We do, however, have secret plans. We will always give away a percentage of our sales, not our income, to support this ecosystem, these organizations and others, because that's what we said we would do. Well, this will always be the case as long as we're still alive, in other words. And as these funds are, they're not even really making money yet, which is why we chose to go the person way. By talking about how Bitcoin and open source technology can change the financial world, Cathie Wood gives us useful information. Supporting open source development is very important to her, and she talks about how Bitcoin is special in ways that make it a powerful tool for financial freedom and new ideas. We'd like to know what you think about some things. What do you think the long-term effects will be on standard banks of the rise of open source technologies like Bitcoin? What do you think investors can do to help open source projects in the Bitcoin space and move them forward? Leave your thoughts in the box below. See these two great movies on your screen for more daily crypto news. Click now, and we'll see you in the next movie.